What is going on, everyone? It's your boy B. Welcome back to the Style of Gaming, and welcome to another Anthem patch update discussion. Thanks to everybody supporting the channel by subscribing. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, like and share this video, and let's crack into this abrupt mini patch that went live March 15th. If you're checking out this update, then you know Anthem hasn't been in the most optimal shape since launch. Moans continue to rise as BioWare has attempted to address this issue plaguing Anthem players, especially in the wake of the recently launched and fairly smooth Division 2. It's been a roller coaster to say the least playing Anthem. I've not only addressed some of the major flaws in the game, I've even offered a few solutions to make things a little smoother in Bastion, but here we are with a mini patch released a week after the launch of 1.0.3, which brought some much needed UI changes, quality of life fixes, and even more frustration from the community. The weekend right before the 1.0.3 patch launched, loot was feeling great in Anthem. I personally had a run in the Heart of Rage on Grandmaster 1 difficulty that showered me with 4 masterworks and a legendary item. I, like many others, thought, is this it? Did they fix the sparse loot in a game about scoring randomized loot drops? It seemed like everything was finally the way that players wanted it, but it was actually a bug in the game that caused the excess drops, which was fixed. Hard air quotes there, which brought the dismal loot state pretty much back to the way that it was on day one. Needless to say, people were not happy. So much so that some of the BioWare devs kind of passive-aggressively stated, if the fans remain so toxic, they won't be interested in having a public dialogue with the community. And I just kind of wanted to make a side note on this. I'm so in the middle of the road with this issue in so many different ways, because I honestly can't stand people demanding changes and fixes by threatening violence and harm on dev teams and their family. It's like,
what the hell is wrong with people?
And I definitely don't support or condone that type of behavior at all. But at the same time, I understand why people are so sour considering Anthem is miles away from what was promoted even days up before the launch of the game. However, I don't think that that justifies, again, the reactions of the player, but it also shouldn't cause the dev team to shy away from the community, especially because that isolates people like myself and others who absolutely love Anthem and want to see the game have the best experience it can, and also be able to maintain a dialogue with the creators and the community to continue sharing inspiration and converse on what we Lancers find so great in the world that BioWare gave us. And I think that if the community acting this toxic is going to take that away, we definitely really need to change our attitude as a group of people, because it's ridiculous. With all things considered, I wholeheartedly respect people's opinion to be upset, but let's try and be reasonable, folks. I imagine there is going to be a myriad of free content given for the subpar release, especially to incentivize players who kind of strayed away from the game, but also to reward people who've stayed through the thick of growing pains, as many of these loot shooter games have done before. I'm not defending BioWare's decisions, because some of them have just been downright horrible, but I plan to keep playing Anthem, and I'll tell you why I am, and why you should too. The March 15th hotfix has made the game feel like the state it was in before the bug. I have been doing activities like free play, legendary contracts, strongholds, and have been showered with masterwork and legendary items. I want to reiterate, I think it's still very important to factor luck into your javelin composition to support the best chance for drops as you play, but the patch fixes high loot drop for all challenging enemies such as legendary Ursix, Ash Titans, and the like for all difficulties. I was actually playing with a friend who just got into the game. He was playing on hard, and I received a masterwork from doing a agent mission. I was really impressed with that. When I was playing Grandmaster 2 free play since the hotfix, I was offered a myriad of goodies in a short 30-minute session. I also feel like the timer for world events in free play has been decreased because I ran into events everywhere. I don't know if that was just my luck, but it's been happening every time I go in, even with different javelins. Secondly, and probably most notable with the fix though, is the fact that the Grandmaster 2 and 3 difficulties have seen a universal increase of masterwork and legendary drops, so much so that I was seeing even elite enemies drop masterwork as well. I think the work being done is just really good business practice on BioWare's end. We've seen substantial patches released weekly and hotfixes coming to address minor issues and quality of life just kind of abruptly. Not only these things, but Anthem's news page has been updated to reflect a little more concise set of events and a rough timeline for what players can expect next. We're currently in Phase 1, and a lot of elements are on the way for free play. It looks like there will be a considerable amount of public activities to really round out the huge environment. I think the more events people are stuck in, the more opportunities Lancers have to engage with the best element of the game, which is combat. People will be more satisfied with their grind for loot, especially now that it seems we found some inkling of balance with drop rates. I'm just really appreciative of the level of response the dev team has had in addressing some urgent things. I definitely would like to hear some more details about the nodes and their timeline, because some of these things are very curious, like, are we going to get exclusive Prospero items? I hope so, because I was thrilled to see this week's featured store has some really awesome armor sets for the Ranger and Storm, as well as, I think, more customization options and unique store content. People are going to really feel more invested in their character and be driven to play for both the power items and aesthetic items. Everyone loves making their character look sweet, and Lancers have done an amazing job with what we have so far. I can't wait to see what we'll do with more options. The Stronghold modifications look interesting in the timeline. Elysian caches are one of the March entries that state completing daily activities unlock keys that you then take into strongholds to unlock unique cosmetic items. So I wonder if this is how BioWare plans to implement loot sets, or what this will actually be. I can't wait for the new stronghold, but I'm super perplexed as to what's going to happen when the Cataclysm starts. It's just this really ominous looking banner on the timeline, so that should be pretty cool. There's just so much planned for this game and so much more to see. I want to have all the best gear for once the official balance is set and we know what weapons and gear are going to look and feel like in a few months. The most impressive feature about Vanilla Anthem has been the array of legendary and masterwork weapons, components, and gear that are available. They really have given us things to work for, and hopefully finally have given us a reasonable way of obtaining these awesome pieces. All in all, I can't wait to see what's in store for the next update, and I really want to see how BioWare plans to elaborate some of these events upcoming in the world of Bastion. It's definitely been a rough ride, Lancers, and I still really want to see better respawn points and free play, more Lancers on a server, basic stability, and optimization to reduce load screens. But week by week, we move towards a more stable and more enjoyable Anthem experience. I hope to see you Lancers out there. Sit tight and enjoy the ride for now. This beautiful skeleton continues to grow, and I'm certainly hooked with what I've experienced. Just a kind of final PS, I'm just in love with the space Viking lore format. It just has captured me in such a way very similar to the embedded world lore of Destiny, and I just personally think that people have a bad taste in their mouth with the genre. Thanks for watching, everyone. Again, if you haven't, please subscribe, and I'll see you out there in Bastion.